Psychology says some children don't notice the moment childhood ends. It doesn't happen with a big event or announcement. It happens quietly, the day they realize someone has to stay strong, someone has to fix things, and somehow, that someone becomes them. Today we're talking about the psychology of children who grow up emotionally too early. The first sign is early responsibility. In psychology, there's a term called parentification. It happens when a child starts carrying emotional or practical responsibilities meant for adults. Instead of being comforted, they become the one who comforts. Instead of expressing their needs, they learn to hide them. Over time, their brain adapts. They become calm under pressure. They become problem solvers. They become the strong one. But underneath that strength, they often learn one painful lesson. Their feelings come last. They weren't born unusually strong. They became strong because they had no other choice. The second pattern is survival independence. Developmental psychology shows that when children grow up without consistent emotional support, they start depending only on themselves. They stop asking for help. They stop expecting comfort. They handle problems alone, even when they desperately need support. As adults, they often look extremely capable and composed. But internally, trusting others can feel unfamiliar and sometimes unsafe. The third effect is something psychologists call uneven emotional maturity. When childhood emotional development is rushed, some parts of the personality grow too fast, while other parts stay unfulfilled. These people might seem wise, serious, and responsible, yet deep inside, they may still struggle with confusion, guilt, or emotional loneliness, not because they're immature, but because they never had the chance to safely depend on someone else. Another common pattern is difficulty with rest. Many people who grew up too fast don't feel comfortable slowing down. When life finally becomes calm, their nervous system stays alert. Because in childhood, calm moments were often followed by problems. So they learn to associate being useful with being safe, and doing nothing can feel uncomfortable, even threatening. Then, there's guilt around needing others. Research suggests that children who carried adult responsibilities often develop a quiet belief. If someone takes care of me, I'm becoming a burden. So they minimize their needs. They apologize for asking for support. They struggle to receive care, even when they deeply crave it. And finally, many develop high emotional awareness with strong boundaries. Growing up in unpredictable environments makes them very sensitive to emotional shifts. They can read moods quickly. They notice tension before anyone speaks. But psychology also shows they often protect themselves emotionally because they learned early how exhausting it can be to care for everyone without protection for themselves. If you grew up too fast, psychology doesn't describe you as damaged. It describes you as someone whose nervous system adapted to pressure earlier than it should have. You learned responsibility before safety, strength before softness. And healing doesn't mean losing your strength. Sometimes, healing simply means learning that you're finally allowed to rest. So I'm curious, did you ever feel responsible for more than a child should carry? And do you still feel that weight today?